Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue with the second unit. So in that we are going to discuss about the yeast. In yeast we are going to discuss about the morphology, structure, reproduction, growth and nutrition. So coming to yeast, so let's see what is yeast. Yeast is a unicellular single-celled fungi which belongs to a fungi kingdom. They are eukaryotic, which means it is a single-cell microorganisms. The size, yeast cells can vary in size depending upon the species and habitat, but most are about 3 to 4 micrometers in diameter, while others can be up to 40. The shape can be either globose, oval, elongated or spherical in shape. If you see, yeast cells lack flagella, which is the most important organ for locomotion. Coming to the structure, it has a rigid structure. The cell wall has a rigid wall that surrounds the plasma membrane and can have multiple layers. For example, the cell wall of pea has three layers: an inner layer with chitin and some glucon, an outer layer with glucon and mycelium layer and with chitin and glucons. It also has a vacuoles which is similar to the plant. Yeast cells contains vacuoles. If you see the picture, a huge spherical shape is a vacuole. Close to the nucleus, a large area of cytoplasm is occupied by vacuoles. The cell wall of yeast has 2 to 3 layers made up of chitin and polysaccharides, which are nothing but glucon and mannans. Depending upon the stage of development, variable amounts of proteins, lipids and other substances are found to be accumulated in the cell. Coming to nutrition and growth, yeast need nutrients, moisture, warmth, food to grow. The availability of nutrients such as sugars, amino acids, nitrogen compounds affect the growth rate and development program of the yeast cells. Yeast cells can adjust their growth rate in response to the nutritional environmental by changing the length of this life cycle. So it is most plentifully supply of available moisture is the most important factor for the best yeast to growth, and the temperature where it can exist is both mesophilic and thermophilic. Mesophilic is 25 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees, and even psychrophilic is 0 degrees and thermophilic is 35 degrees to 60 degrees. Some of the nutrients which are very much required are sugar, vitamins and nitrogen compounds. The sugars are the most abundant nutrient in grape juices, typically around 180 to 250 grams per liter, and include glucose and fructose. So, the most important favorable nutrient is sugar, milk, sweet fruits, decaying vegetables, and some on animal excreta. The most of the yeast grow in a best pH is 4 to 4.5 pH values, and not well grown in alkaline media. Yeast grows best under aerobic condition, but sometimes fermentative type can also grow anaerobically. In general, sugars are the best source of energy for yeast. Carbon dioxide produced by the bread yeast accomplishes the leavening of the bread, and alcohol made by the fermentative yeast is the main product in the manufacturing of wines, beers, industrial alcohol and other products. Vitamins are also important to produce a healthy fermentation, and nitrogen compounds are the second most important macronutrients for yeast after sugars. Only a portion of total nitrogen compound in juices is available for yeast to use. Right, the yeast also aids in the production of flavor of bouquet in wines. Under suitable conditions, the sugar is converted into alcohol and carbon dioxide is evolved. Coming to the reproduction, there are two types of reproduction: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, if you see, a budding is the most important thing. Budding usually occurs during the abundant supply of nutrients. In this process of reproduction, a small bud arises as an outgrowth of a parent body. Later, the nucleus of the parent yeast is separated into the two parts, and one of the nucleus shifts into the bud. The newly created bud divides and grows into a new cell.
If you see the picture, the first picture, a parent body is slowly dividing into a new but where the nucleus is getting exchanged between the old one and the new one. The second picture is a microscopic view how a budding is happening in a cell. In sexual reproduction, yeast can also reproduce sexually by means of sexual spores called ascospores, which result from the fusion of the nuclei from two cells followed by meiosis. These ascospores stays within a unicellular structure known as ascus. Each ascus bears four ascospores. If it is C, it is a clear explanation in the next picture. It is represented by a zygote only, whereas the haploid phase is prolonged. During sexual reproduction, two cells comes in contact with which develops short protuberance at the point of contact. The partition wall between the protuberance gets dissolved to form a conjugation tube. The nuclei of two cells gradually comes into the conjugation tube and fuses to form a zygote. The diploid zygote thus formed grows and behaves as a ascus. Now the zygote nucleus divided mitotically to form four haploid nucleus. Again it divides into four nuclei. Thus 8 ascospores are formed in each ascus, which are set free by rupturing ascus walls and becomes independent yeast cell. So coming to the picture, this is a picture. If you see A, they are new two ascospores when fuses together. If you see B picture, they're coming together, they're trying to mate each other. In C, slowly they're trying to exchange. In D, they are already exchanging between the two ascospores. In E picture, both the nucleus are being dissolved. Then meiosis is taking place where 2 is becoming 4, 4 to 8, and after 8 there is a formation of, it is all these things are called as ascospores which are in ascus. Later during a favorable condition these ascuses are ruptured and they are relieved as ascospores outside. This is how a life cycle of a yeast is happening. Coming to the economical importance of yeast, there are three main important things are brewery, baking, vitamins. In brewery, yeast fermentation produces many types of beverages such as wine, beer, alcohol and toddy. In baking, in bread making, when yeast is added to the flour, carbon dioxide will release which makes the bread to become very soft. And yeast is a very good source of vitamin B complex. Hope you understood, girls. Thank you. Have a good day.